Okay, if everything has gone according to plan, we should be live on YouTube. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our traditional annual Prime Day stream. As you may notice, it's a bit more rudimentary than usual, and that there's a couple of reasons for it. Obviously, the biggest one is that I'm currently in Poland and my house here, so that is why I'm not using my usual setup. Even then, I mean, there's obviously quite a few sacrifices that had to be made. Like I'm kind of very happy at the kind of setup I have going on here. It's like very you can actually get work done. But for especially for streaming, there's still a couple of things missing. If you're wondering why the camera is so awful, is I wanted to get a proper webcam for here. Razer recently sent me one over to check out one of the new ones, but it didn't arrive by the time I left, so that's kind of annoying. Secondly, I wanted to then just use my Black Magic because I have that with me. But then I forgot the cam link. I've got a cam link which I need to actually connect it up. And without a cam link. I've got a cam link. Yes, without a cam link, I can't really connect it up to my laptop. And then also because it is so warm today, it's like 30 degrees outside. I had to move downstairs to the basement where it's a bit cooler, and obviously the audio and the lighting is going to be a bit worse here. So that's kind of the other part of it. Also, the quality, like actual quality I'm streaming at, isn't like the usual like 4K and like super high bit rate. Because of the internet, so it's a lot better than it was because the internet here used to be like 10 megabits download on a good day, maybe like one or two upload. We got Starlink since then. It's like better, but like upload wise, it's still pretty bad. So yeah, hopefully like it's actually stable. Anyway, if you know or if you're new here and you don't know the rules of the game, it is pretty simple. What we do is we try and build a PC on on Amazon using the Prime Day deals and only the Prime Day deals, and we have to fit within a certain budget. There was a glorious time when this game was at its peak, when we could create a pretty decent, well-rounded PC. That was like after the GPU shortages, but before the RAM shortages. And so we're back in this kind of period of things just being kind of depressing to actually build. So yes, as usual, we're kind of just going through. First of all, we need to decide on a budget. And again, deciding on a budget right now can be pretty difficult because, again, of the memory prices. And again, we have to pick memory. Hopefully, there's at least some memory on a Prime Day deal. If not, then the rule is we just go with like whatever's actually available. So, guys, pick out what kind of budget we should go for, keeping in mind the memory situation. And then hopefully we can start. I'm thinking usually we do like 1500 to about like what? $2,000, which is a pretty decent range. So I think we'll start there. But first of all, I want to see the memory situation. We could always go DDR4. I'm just going to check DDR5 right now, just to cry, I guess, because look at this. I'm assuming you've guys seen the Steam machine pricing. Oh, $1,000 for a pretty outdated already like CPU and GPU. Yikes! And then also because of the shortages, like some of the Steam machines are gonna have 8 gig. Two 8 gig stick configuration, and then others are gonna have a single 16 gig stick. And then hopefully at least they're gonna make it like obvious, like if you get one of the better ones or one of the worst ones. I mean, it's not all bad. Like you can get, I say bad, not all bad. You can get like this for $236, but I mean 16 gigs. Like if you're going DDR5, you may as well go 32. But like, look at this. Okay, what about DDR4? Is there anything good for DDR4? It's not even giving me like the button right here for like Prime Day deals because oh no, there is. I'm blind apparently. What on earth is this thing? Pew skill. Is like G skill? Is it like rip off G skill? Pew skill. Amazing. Wow. Is that really our only option? G skill, get on this. They have P and Y for like $108 for 16 gigs on a single DIM. King spec, which like I've heard about enough. Like I've seen them enough times that they're like clearly not they're super sketchy. You can get a 16 gigs across two DIMMs for 100. Uh, yeah, it's rough. It's rough. But I think obviously what's going to decide what kind of memory we're going for is the motherboard. So let us start off this way, and then kind of that just kind of decides everything else. So Prime Day deals only, as usual, and we'll see what we can get. Already, a B850 Ares Elite. It's a pretty decent board for $161. That I think is a pretty good starting point for us to go from. Though to be fair, you can also get an X871 for actually $10 cheaper. Obviously, surprise, I don't remember all of the motherboard specs off the top of my head. I know I've done videos on like all of these motherboards, but I gotta tell you, I can't remember all the specs off the top of my head. So for that reason, I also do have to kind of go back and see what exactly it looks like here. Because again, I can't remember. And then for anyone new, if you're wondering how this game exactly works, then we didn't just go to this spreadsheet right here, beautifully made within like 3 minutes. And then, well, actually, okay, I forgot to actually do one. Actually, no. Okay, yeah, boom, it's there, it's ready, and we basically just go in, add everything in, and then hopefully we are able to do something within budget. And again, the budget depends on you guys. I usually like to give the audience a choice. Again, $1,500 is kind of the usual benchmark, but it's becoming kind of difficult because of the memory pricing. So let's just quickly switch back to what this is, what this looks like. Okay, so someone's asking what processor, so we haven't chosen one just yet. I'm basically looking at the motherboard first and seeing what good motherboards are on sale, and then that's going to kind of dictate everything else. I feel like, or should I do it the other way? I kind of basically flip flop. Like I said, I do this live stream every single year. Sometimes I do it one way, sometimes I do it the other way. There is this thing right here. It's a Micro Center bundle, so you can get yourself a 4900K and a Z9 Z790 plus Tough Gaming or whatever motherboard. That's not bad, I think, for 1400K and a board. Granted, it's not a couple of generations, a couple of years old at this point, but still, it's a 4900K. You are going to do really well in this. Oh, should we go for this? I'm kind of really tempted to just go for this because like why not? Just spice it up. And if you guys don't like it, then we do this live streams every single day for Prime Day, so we can do other ones. But first, let's go over to the CPU side of things and then see what we actually have on sale here. Again, the rule is we can only go for stuff that have the magical Prime Day deal sticker just to make things more interesting. So we do have the same 4900K that was there, and that gives a pretty good idea of what we can expect. So if this is 390, how much was the bundle? I can't remember already. So it tells us how much we're paying for that motherboard, and that's almost $600. Okay, so that's $200 ish just for the board itself, which eh, I don't think I think we get a better Z790 board than that. But we have a lot of Ryzen 7000, Ryzen 5000 if you want to go even older. Ryzen 9000, we could even get like okay, no, this isn't on sale. This isn't on sale. Okay, so it's pretty much only this stuff. Only these couple of ones here. So we probably won't be going for a 1400K just because of how much it is going to go for, how much it's going to go towards memory. So yeah, so Trozen saying in chat should check for the Ryzen 5 8500G. I need to check if it's actually on sale because again, the rules of this game are it has to be as part of Prime Day sale. Otherwise, it's no good. and sadly I can't see it here. So yeah, there is a couple of other bundles here. Usually, when guys like Micro Center or even I think like Amazon used to do these kind of bundles, they would usually bundle a CPU, a motherboard, and memory. And one of the given is here is that none of these bundles have memory. It's very telling. Um, you can always go for like a 7700X, like a good all-rounder. I don't think it's going to really offend anyone if we go for this, especially because there's also decent pricing for the for the motherboards. It gives a pretty good amount of budget to look for a graphics card, which obviously is going to be the biggest thing. Apart from just obviously memory. But okay, let's go for that. That is going to be our very first pick of the stream, unless anyone has any objections. It's going to be this right here. And let me actually just reorganize some things on my second screen here so I can have better access to both the stream window and also the actual OBS side of it. Okay, and how much did I say it is? $200. Cool. First thing done, we can move on to getting ourselves a motherboard to match it. Actually, no. I'm going to do things completely out of order. I'm going to go for graphics card next. And then I'm going to basically decide how much money we have left that we can use for a motherboard. But that's going to basically decide um, how much we can spend on maybe like some more PCIe slots for like if we wanted like extra M.2s or I don't know extra USB. Wait, are there no cards on sale? Prime Day. Oh, okay. I've confused. Okay, so the Prime Day thing is on. Oh no, they are. They're just hidden behind these for some reason. Why? This isn't even like a sponsored listing or whatever. Obviously, we aren't going for a 5080 because that's more than our entire budget of 1500. So, no thanks. 5060 Ti would be like a good rational choice. I think we usually got away with a 5070 before. But again, the issue is going to be just the memory. That's going to be the biggest one. And that's the thing I'm worried about the most. Is just the memory. So, what we could do is let me just quickly adjust some more stuff. Okay, do we just go for the 5060 Ti for now? Again, do we just go for the safest option first and then upgrade when we have to later? Like when we have the spare budget later. I think that's going to be the sensible option right now. We're just going to go for the bare minimum. I said bare minimum. It's a 5060 Ti is still going to be decent. And, it's given how it is black, we're also going to have to go for like a black motherboard just to match. And then PNY is a company that you can, trust that the card itself isn't gonna fall apart. So we're gonna go for this, and it is going to cost us, how much did I say? $350. Cool. So that's a third of our budget gone already. And we haven't gone to like the most scary part yet, which is going to memory. But first you have to go over the motherboard. Actually, no, we're gonna go memory next. We're gonna pull out a band-aid and then we can focus on the motherboard. If anyone spots anything else in their own kind of searches, something that could work really, really well with this system, do let me know. Do let me know. Again, one of the issues with us going with 7700X is that we are limiting ourselves to DDR5. Obviously, with if we went Intel, obviously for the like a single generation of motherboards, you could pick if you wanted DDR4, DDR5. That was nice. That was a really nice transition point. Would have come in really handy in this market. Welcome, welcome. We have a lot more people joining. I see. Nice. I don't know why these streams like always like the most popular ones I do every single year. I have no idea why, but hey, it's fun. They're always really fun to do. It's a really fun game. Uh, I really do not want to go for just 16 gigabytes, but if we have to, this right here is like your standard run-of-the-mill kit, right? It's 6,000 megahertz, megatransfers per second, whatever you want to call it. It's 32 gigabytes. It's with RGB though. I don't want to overpay for RGB, but to be fair, I don't see any Corsair Vengeance here without RGB. Oh no, there is. Okay, this is the 16 gig. There's this one here, which is a $10 less. And again, given how tight we are going to be on a budget, I think that $10 is going to be very important. And I think it's like a really good run-of-mill CL38. I think that's what we're going to go for. Again, I hate the fact that we're paying so much. Oh, look at this. There's this Lexar 4 kit here. It's the same price, but also you get RGB. Is it the same? I can't see. Is it the same latency as well? If it's the same latency, we're going to go for this. Like, just get RGB as well. Why not? You list everything apart from what the latency is. Thanks. Features and specs. CO38. Okay, so we're gonna go for this. We're gonna go for this because yeah, it's just you have everything and you get also yourself some RGB as a bonus for the same price. Again, if you guys disagree with any of my choices, please yell in the comments section, the live chat about it. Also, if you want to help support this game and also kind of help support the build out of this kind of secondary studio I have right here in this other location, so that whenever I am here, the streams are going to be, as close to the kind of quality as you get in my kind of regular space. Obviously, it won't be one-to-one just because of the internet situation. Starlink is just still too unpredictable. But don't worry, there's something else coming, by the way. There's another project, another long-term project coming in a very near future, and there's going to be some really fun things in terms of like a new space, let's call it, for streams and videos and so forth. But anyway, let's kind of focus on the here and now for now. Let's focus on Prime Day, and if you have managed to score any really good deals so far, again, let me know. Show off what kind of good finds you've been able to have. What good finds you've seen so far. Motherboard wise, I think that B851 was pretty decent. Like right here. Oh, and also one very important thing I can't believe I haven't mentioned yet. Let me kind of move my laptop a bit so like there we go, I'm more in focus. I'm more in the center. If you are going to be doing any shopping, like I mean any item on Amazon during Prime Day, make sure to use our link. It's gonna be down in the video description below. You don't pay a single cent extra. Well, we get some money, it gets reinvested into again making this space slightly better, so that when I'm not in my usual recording studio, the streams are better, and to kind of basically help invest in the channel. Again, you don't pay anything extra, so I always like to joke that if you want to make sure that Bezos earns less, then hey, use our links. So anyway, motherboard wise, this was a really good choice, the B850 right here. And also, I just always like the design philosophy of Aorus. Oh, that was a voice crack and a half of Aorus motherboards. But then, where was the other one? There was like an X870. Yeah, okay, so these are our two front runners right here. Alternatively, there was also like an A series one there. But that's A520, that's AM4, never mind. If we really wanted to go for something super cheap. So, okay. So let us compare, not this one, I closed the wrong one. So let's compare these two right here and see what we're gonna get. Because again, like I said, even though I very much, I remember I've done videos on both of these motherboards, I can't remember every single spec off the top of my head. The usually the most important thing I look for is, go away, honey. What I look forward to is like just seeing that rear IO. That's like the one of the main factors in that really people will notice and actually care about and impact how they use the system day to day. So that's one of the things I paid the most attention to in my videos. Go away, honey. Snooze for 24 hours. Okay. So what do we have? We have two USB 4 here. I think that's already gonna be more than here. Yeah. Okay, so I think we have a clear winner already. because we have two USB Type C. I think we have a bit less Type A. So one, two, three, four on this side, and then four various USB 3.2 ones on the other side. And in here we have a bit more. Which motherboard do we go for, ladies and gentlemen? That's a very. It's obviously going to come down to your preference, but let's do a poll because that's a feature. Someone just said in chat you could be a hot go. Oh man. Okay, let's do a poll so we can decide what exactly we want. So we have ourselves the B850 Elite or the X870 Eagle. So the Eagle is going to be $10 cheaper, and the Eagle has two Type C, which are also faster because this is only 10 gig Type C from what I see. So that is also going to be very important, but you get less Type A. Design-wise, I'm definitely more leaning towards the Aorus. Like I said, I'm a really big fan of Aorus motherboards when it comes to design. But like the Eagle isn't too bad either. And again, like when we're kind of really straining for budget, it's like not the biggest issue in the world how your motherboard looks. The other thing I wanted to see is how many M.2s we have in either. So we have P35 design. Yes, but how many M.2 slots? Reviews. This is what kind of why I prefer whenever I'm doing videos. I usually focus on Newegg because everything is just the way everything's laid out, the way everything's presented is just so much nicer. Total PCIe ports, number of HDMI. Do we have literally everything here apart from how many M.2 slots we have? Do I really have to like look it up? Or am I just blind and I can't see it? Um, obviously, okay, one, two. Okay, I think it's just three. There's like nothing hidden under there. That's just gonna be a chipset one, so that's gonna be three. And then over here, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to tell because of the giant heatsink. But I'm assuming it's also going to be three, just kind of judging by the size of the heatsink. Right? You kind of see what I mean? Like that looks like there's three hidden under there. Again, I'd love to double check, but sadly, I can't see it. So, okay, so there's definitely like a Gen 5 slot in there, but again, how many in total? I'm just gonna say it's free because it looks like it's gonna be free. Someone's asking what price difference is. So the price difference is $10 less for the X870 Eagle, right? So this one, which you get two Type C, both 40 gig Type C compared to the one Type C 10 gig on the other one. However, the issue is that you get a bit less Type A, not by a lot, right? So here you have eight, and over on this one, how much did he have? You had 10 on this one. You also have optical. You have SPDIF and Toslink. Cool for the couple of people who care about optical audio, I guess. I mean, it sure does have its uses. DisplayPort rather than HDMI as an integrated option. Again, no one really cares, but who, like whatever. And 2.5 gig Ethernet on both. Like I very much wasn't expecting anything more at this kind of price point. The poll so far is saying X870 Eagle. Okay, I think I think we're gonna go for this then. Like, yeah, I basically the more I compare them, the more I kind of talk myself into the Eagle, just because of that fast USB man is gonna be so useful. And like again, while this one looks nicer, that's not gonna really matter in the long term. So oh wow, our motherboard for the overall long-term usability, if not for the looks, is going to be the Gigabyte X870 Eagle Wi-Fi 7. And again, we can actually go back and get something better if we still have some money left over in our budget. Like, it's not a tragedy so far. Like, I thought it's gonna be way worse with the memory. Like, it's still $400 for 30 gigs is still ridiculous, don't get me wrong, but like, I thought it would be a lot worse. And we have $400 left. And with those $400, we still need a cooler for a CPU. We still need storage. We still need PSU. We still need a case, and we still need like additional fans, maybe if we have space for them in our budget. So I'm not gonna go CPU cooler first because it that really depends on the case. How many fans are included? If there's space for an AIO. So the case dictates the CPU cooler. What we're going to do next is the storage, which I'm also kind of scared about when it comes to pricing. And one also kind of debate we all I always kind of have on this show as well on this series every Prime Day is should we go for like a very tiny boot drive, like even just like a 256 gigs, maybe even less, what like 128 for like a boot drive and the most important applications, and then have a slightly bigger 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte drive for everything else. So that's something else um I usually discuss. So let me know which one you kind of prefer there. Um, how bad is the jump to a 7800X? I'll let you know right now. The other question is if it's on sale. Again, the rule of the game is it has to be on sale. So if it's not, let me just kind of search up already 7800X and see if it's, yeah. So the jump in price is pretty big. And again, even if it was a lot smaller, we have to stick to stuff that is actually on Prime Day because that makes it more fun. Because I like to torture myself that way. So that is the kind of issue there. We may go back to the CPU if we have like a few dollars spare, but like it's a 7700X, like it's a pretty decent match for the 5060. Again, 5060 Ti, sorry. Again, a couple of years ago, I would have laughed at this. Like, what? You can only get a 5060 Ti and a 7700X and a $1,500 budget? But then again, uh, in this current situation, we can't complain. We can't complain too much. Someone's saying they're using a 4790K with a GTX 1080. Let me tell you a story. For a while, maybe around like a year a bit, I used an FX 8350 with a GTX 1080 Ti. Get on my level. Though, to be fair, before you all start yelling bottleneck, I have something in my defense. I needed a new monitor anyway, because my old monitor didn't even have HDMI. So when I upgraded to 1080 Ti, I need to upgrade anyway. And so I decided to go for a 4K one, where the FX 8350, well, that did not even matter. It was an awful 4K monitor, but hey, I could show off and say I was gaming at 4K. It's getting pretty dark as well. Maybe we'll get some more light in here. Oh, okay, now I'm way too bright. Okay, is it like... Okay, cool. The camera's finished doing its thing. Um, so what should we do? Um, what are people saying? My country only has Lexar, lol. I mean, hey, Lexar ain't bad, but competition is always nice. I wonder if you guys haven't seen Lexar have become a sponsor of the Argentinian national football team. Just imagine how much money that cost for them. Imagine how much of the money you spend on your new SSD or your new memory from Lex or whatever went towards that deal. And that's not even the end. So I was invited to the event at CES in Vegas when they announced it, and they had like actual retired players from the Argentinian national football team there to talk about like how great Lexar is. How much did that cost? How big is that deal? So if you're wondering what you're paying for and why your Lexar products cost so much, well, now you know. A little insider info there. You're welcome. So, what do we have when it comes to storage? This could be decent. 2 terabytes for $245. We're definitely not going to go for Samsung. We do not have a budget for a Samsung. We have this right here, 6, which is like some completely unknown brand which I've never heard for. There's King Spec again. There's SanDisk, 500 gigabytes. Oh man. Yeah, but the prices for NAND have also gone up, as you can kind of really see here. So that is also one of the issues. What I don't have is this. Oh, it's like an external enclosure. I was really confused there for a second. Like the enclosure. Oh my word! A 2 terabyte Optimus GX is almost $600. Ouch! Ouch! Okay, so yeah, this isn't great. We don't have too many options. If we go for something like this, we're gonna have like 200, even less, $150 left for a case, for a CPU cooler, and for a PSU. Okay, so I think we want to limit ourselves to 1 terabyte. But again, I'm not seeing too many 1 terabyte ones. At least 1 terabyte ones from brands I actually heard of, not Fangshang. Bum. What do you think about SanDisk v Samsung? I mean, Samsung are the kings when it comes to NAND. I mean, they are definitely when it comes to just overall speeds on the high end. Like I think they're pretty much the winners when it comes to like the highest speeds possible on Gen 5 drives. But of course, they cost quite a bit more. SanDisk are kind of your option I'd go for if you want something that is still going to perform like way better than you'd ever need, but you can actually afford. There's Sabrin stuff, uh, but like, give me like a 1 terabyte option. Why are there no 1 terabyte options on sale? Is it because like they're just sold out? There's no 1 terabyte from at least like the known brands. There's quite a few from the weird ones, but from like the brands that actually trust to not corrupt your data, well, then it's getting a bit more difficult to find anything here. Huh. Oh man. Okay, this could be a bit of an issue if we don't find anything super cheap, because then like I don't know how we could get everything else for 1 terabyte, for $150. Because like there is this one from Samsung, but like again, if we're spending over $200, we may as well go for 2 terabytes. Uh, okay, there's this one right here. I probably missed it when I was scrolling earlier. It's a Sabrent Rocket 5, so it's a Gen 5 one. Again, I would be more than happy with Gen 4 for this. Like the average Joe, y- like will not be able to tell the difference. They do not need Gen 5 speeds right now unless they're doing something absolutely crazy. But like, oh wow, those are the rules of the game. Apparently, no one's doing anything. Oh, there's the SanDisk ones, but again, they're like even more expensive than the Samsung ones, which is insane. What are the speeds on the Optimus GX 14900 versus what are the speeds on the Samsung? Oh, okay. So so SanDisk actually have the crown when it comes to Gen 5. It's by 200 megabytes, but still. I did not even know that. I did not know that SanDisk even had like a faster SSD this generation than even Samsung. Wow. There's this one, but that's a portable one. You can get an external SSD for the same pricing as an internal one. I hate this. I actually hate this. Um, If we have nothing else, then we're gonna have to go for that. I hate the fact that we're spending so much extra just for Gen 5, but there's like nothing available. Like, are people just not making, or at least not promoting Gen 4 drives anymore? Just give me something from an actually reputable company that's Gen 4, that's decently priced, so we can all go home, please. There's this one which we mentioned earlier, that's Gen 4. And like for 2 terabytes, like it's not awful right now, but like I don't think we'll be able to fit in our budget. If we do, great. If not, oh well. Okay, so we have to go for this basically because there's nothing else. So again, I hate how we're only getting 1 terabyte. We usually in like previous live streams, I'm pretty sure we're able to get away with a lot more. I say a lot, probably like 2 terabytes, maybe like if 2 terabytes plus like a boot drive. Okay, so let's go with the case next. Let's go with the case and see what we find. Already a Lee and Lee stuff, but that's on sale. Okay, so on sale we have a Corsair 4000D, already pretty decent choice. At $85, that's gonna be a quite a bit of a budget, but oh well. This is the Musex ones. These ones I see a lot every single time I do these streams. Let me just see what people are seeing in chat. So I managed to get a 20 terabyte hard drive. Ooh, nice. I wish, I wish to get like a terabyte, 20 terabyte one just to kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't even know what I would do with 20 terabytes unless I put it in NAS. But I would just like want to have a terabyte, 20 terabytes in my hand, in my hand. I remember when I got my current PC. Well, not my current PC, my first proper gaming PC. So that was in like in 2013. That I basically like upgraded since. I got like a 1 terabyte drive. I was like, whoa, 1 terabyte. Like I would never fill that up. Yeah. hmm So there's Game Dealers, which is like a lesser known brand, but they're still like they still go to shows like Computex, so obviously they are like at least legit enough. Thermaltake, we all know Thermaltake. $56 one of theirs. It's a pretty nice mid tower with three 120s included. I think that could be a pretty decent option. What do you guys think? Again, a lot of these will be like personal preference. However, like I think we could trust Thermaltake, and I think we're gonna have enough left over in a budget, and it also means we can get up to a 360 mil AO at the top, so that's good. We also have space for additional free fans at the bottom. Like that's a pretty decent case in terms of just over capacity for fans for the price. Front IO wise, pretty much what you expect. It actually has a reset button. That's nice. That's something you like for some reason that's been like disappearing from cases, and I still really don't get it. I wish I know this is a very tiny nitpick. I wish they went for like a nicer graphic for the reset and just a big R. Like it, I don't know, it just doesn't really mesh well with like the rest of the a layout and the rest of the icons here. Like I don't know, like just do like a little you know what I mean, like a reset icon, like the line in a circle going back on itself. The power button isn't even labeled, but then you just know it's a power button because, well, it's the only one that isn't labeled. Okay, so unless anyone has any other good finds, I think we're going to go for this. The Thermaltake View 270 plus TGARGB mid black mid tower E80X. Okay, it looked pretty small, but apparently it can even fit an E80X case in it. E80X motherboard, sorry. Someone just said in chat that the 5090 is like $4,200 right now. Is that actually how much they go for now? I stopped even checking because it's just depressing. But like, really? Oh, I did not know that there's so much nowadays. Okay, so let's just go for this one, unless anyone again has any kind of the other ideas, basically. So we're gonna go for this, and how much did I say it is? 56.5. Let's round it up. I round up, so let's go for that. And now let's go for, we don't need fans because it comes with like ample fans already to cool a 7700X and a 5060 Ti. So now we can go for a CPU cooler. Again, the question here is always AIO or tower. And at least we have the option to go up to a 360 mil if we get like a killer deal. And we still have like a decent amount of the budget left. So we have $180 left. So let's just quickly swap back and see what we have. Already, speaking of deals for AIOs, a 360 mil from Corsair for 95, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. One thing that's would very much annoy me in this kind of build is just having disjointed, like having two different fans, right? Styles. You have the thermal fans that come with the case, and then of course the ones that come with here. But again, on a budget, uh, it's just kind of something you have to live with. But it would be something that would just annoy me. And if you have like if those kind of things would annoy you, you kind of know what I mean. So there is, however, also a thermal take one. Oh no, sorry, it's not thermal take, it's thermal right. Yeah. If for those that don't know, if Thermal Right is a bit of like a less known company, like they are like a ripoff. They aren't some like Chinese company who like make sales by pretending to be Thermal Take. They are very legit. My again, my first gaming PC from 2013 had a Thermal Right CPU cooler. They just have a name that just very unfortunately, also getting the logo kind of as well in a weird way. That kind of resembles Thermal Take. Thermalright is a nice brand. Yeah, it is a really nice brand. Again, it's just a brand that I don't think gets enough recognition. And like this type of a name that's just very similar to one that's a lot bigger than them. Who came first? Is someone able to look it up for me? Who came first between Thermal Take and Thermal Right? Because I actually don't know. Though, in a moment to shine, I think we may be going for Thermal Right AAO here. Like they are brand, I'd very much trust with AEO. With like CPU coolers with camera ones, you could probably get away with getting a one from like a no-name generic brand. With an AIO, however, you want to go for something trusted because you don't want it to like leak. You don't want the pump to die. There's a lot more points of failure. So obviously you want to go for a much better brand-wise AIO. And I think it's gonna be overkill for 7700X, but at the same time, it's also gonna give you some leeway if you want to upgrade later. Or maybe, hey, maybe we'll upgrade right now if we still have some space left over in our budget. So, Thermal Ride Frozen Not or Notte, whatever, 360 ARGB V2, that's gonna be our choice. Unless, guys, again, if you see anything else, then let me know and we could always swap it out. And again, if you're doing any shopping yourself for Prime Day, then make sure to use our links, which are going to be down in the video description below. It does not have a PC part, right? Like someone once used my links to buy canned tomato soup, and I got paid for that. Like it gets that specific. It can be literally anything as long as you actually get to Amazon using that link. You're golden. So that's that. So what do we have left? PSU, and that's it. So we're actually not doing as bad budget-wise as I thought. If we get a PSU, we could probably still get like a $50 left over for an upgrade to maybe the CPU or maybe something else. We'll see. We'll see. So let's quickly go back and look for a PSU. Okay, so I think for this kind of build, we're going for around 800 and 850 watts. It's like more than enough for this combo. And again, it means that if you do upgrade, you won't have to also upgrade a PSU. I heard not great things. Like speaking of reputable brands, I have heard a lot of bad things about thermaltake PSUs. Even if other stuff from them is great, like the cooling is great, apparently PSUs aren't. They have a tendency to go boom, or just generally stop working. So I don't think we go for that. Again, it can really happen to anyone. I mean, I've recently even had like a PSU from Be Quiet die. And Be Quiet are like they're one of the biggest names in the PSU industry. So yeah, there's this one. Like MSI do decent PSUs. This won't blow up and destroy your PC. Is there anything cheaper though? There's this one, but that's 750, and I think 850 would be a kind of a target there. So again, unless anyone sees anything better, I think we could be going for that. There's a Roseville one. I don't get a Roseville PSU, please. No matter how tight your budget is, it's not worth the risk. I'm sorry. Um, and I don't think we're going to find anything better than that on sale. So, MSI, it is your time to shine with your PSU. The MSI Mag A70, no, not this one, the A50, there we go, the MSI Mag 850 PCA 5, whatever. So, if we go back to here, we add this in. We add in a price, and we see that we have ourselves around $48, $42 left, sorry. So, what do we do with that money? Odds are we only able to get a better graphics card. That's like the main thing that obviously you could always do better with. It's going to have the biggest actual impact on the way you use your PC. But I don't think we could get something for like what 300 and so how much do we have so how much was the original one right here? 350. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that's just gonna be slightly more than that. But hey, if we wanted to save some money, we could go for a RX 580 for $200, a GT 730. I am still amazed. These cards have been on sale on Amazon for as long as I've been doing these streams, which I began like in like 2020 or something, or 2021. I can't remember now. And they're still trying to go for the old stock of like these random no-name generic GT 730s and GT 710s. It's actually incredible. But yeah, graphics card wise, sadly, we won't be getting anything better because again, we need something around the $400 price point, and there is nothing like that here. There is this one, but that's gonna slightly go over our budget. So, oh well, we could instead look if we can get a better CPU instead. Granted, it has to be like AMD and has to be AM5 because like everything's built around that, and I can't be bothered to go back and pick another motherboard now and everything. Bu- 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 So how much did we pay? We paid 200. Okay, so is there anything that's slightly more? Just slightly more. Well, there's this one, but again, that's gonna be AM4. You can get a 1700X for $90 more. That's like not the worst thing ever, but again, that's gonna be above a budget. That stuff now, we have $40 left and nothing to do with it. Let me know, what should we do with our remaining $40? We could like go we if we find like a cheap enough SSD, like I don't think we get an SSD for $40. They're not in this market, never mind. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Let's try. If there's like a very small, like 128, 256 gigs, that's gonna be like a boot drive for us. If not, it's not the end of the world. Okay, I should probably clarify. I'm looking for NVMe's. There we go. Yeah, I don't think we're getting that. Let me just go all the way down to here. And no, there is some from like again these weird brands, but again, I wouldn't trust your boot drive with these guys. Okay, so yeah, that spare money, I think it's just gonna have to be put towards something else in the future because yeah, I can't think of anything we could possibly put it towards. Maybe a nicer case, but like it's already a pretty nice one. Like I really like this Spell Take one. I've never seen it before, never heard of it before, but it looks pretty nice. Maybe motherboard. Can we go for like a better X870 motherboard for $40 more? There's the Tomahawk, but like, is the Tomahawk gonna give us like anything we really need? I don't think so. There's this one, but that's not on sale. Let me just quickly. Okay, so yeah, I don't see anything motherboard wise either that would like really be worth it. Okay, so I think that's it. I think that's gonna be it. So this is our final build for 2026, the first day of 2026. Okay, yes, I know Prime began yesterday, but I was away, I was traveling, so I couldn't do it then. But this is our build for the very first day. Again, tomorrow we're gonna do another one, and we could probably decide on like a maybe different theme. We could do like $2,000, or we could do, uh, we could try an Intel build instead. I think that could be interesting. Try and build something around Intel. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm not the happiest with it for obvious reasons. Like I feel we could definitely get like a better graphics card and a better CPU if the memory wasn't so expensive. And then again, it's kind of awkward to have like $42 left because there's like nothing to do with it. Especially for the when keeping true to the rule of only using stuff that's on sale on Prime Day. But still, like it could very much be worse. So anyway, that is the end of the very first Prime Day live stream. If you like this format, then again, we will be doing a more of these. Um, we can get something better than this, than the 5060 Ti. I'm assuming you meant no, sadly not. We had $40 spare, and there was like nothing, and that was on sale. Don't get like that was like $40 more. So sadly not. Again, I'm disappointed in myself that it's a $1,500 build and it's a 5060 Ti. Like that should not be the reality, but it is anyway because yep, that's just the way things are right now. And looking at a Steam machine is you can see the same story again there. But again, we if you like this kind of format, we play this a lot. We play this for Prime Day. We play this for the what did they call like the other weird one that they made? Because like one Prime Day wasn't enough, so then they made Prime Days, and then that wasn't enough, so they also did like Prime Big Deal Days, I think it's called. So there's that. Then there's also Black Friday, of course. I play this across all of those various days and events of celebrating capitalism and the Lord and Savior Bezos. So yeah, definitely stay tuned if you're going to like this format. And again, if you want to support the channel, then there's super chats as an option, super thanks, super stickers, super how many other weird super support options YouTube has right now. And again, the most important part are links. If you are going to be buying anything on Amazon these next couple of days, as long as you get to Amazon using a link, no matter what you buy, It can be canned tomato soup, it can be PC parts, it can be whatever. Then again, some of that money goes towards the channel, and that helps out a lot. Okay, so I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much. And like I said, we'll be back with more of these streams for Prime Day. So hope you guys enjoyed this little live stream. And if you did, then make sure to subscribe, like whatever. And I'll see you all in whatever I make next. Goodbye, everyone.